Hello everyone. Just wanted to make sure that we're showing up where we're supposed to. Hi, I'm a little early. Just wanted to make sure I was here on time. Hello everyone. Just wanted to make sure that we're showing up where we're supposed to. Great. Hi, Francie. Hello, everyone coming in. Glad for you to be here. I'm so glad the neighborhood is quiet right now. Usually today we have lots of landscape people coming through and doing leaf blowing and lawn mowing. So this will be great that we're going to be quiet for just a little bit anyway. Okay, so looks like we're ready. Got lots of people coming in. Come on in, join us. Nice to have you here. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for popping in this afternoon. And if you're watching me on rerun, I'm really glad you're here as well. I want to send out a big thank you to Annie's and Quilters World for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to come in and talk about this really sweet little block that has a lot of versatility. So while we're waiting for more people to join in, I'll give you a little bit of background about me. My name is Robin Koehler. I am the owner of Nestlings by Robin. I have specialized in original applique designs that have a traditional whimsical feel to them. And I've been doing that for about 20 years now, which sounds very weird to say out loud. And as passionate as I am about all of the handwork that I do and teach, I write all of my patterns for machine fusible appliques so that you can get your gifts done a little bit quicker, or projects if it's for you. And I also really enjoy the challenge of being able to combine applique and piecing into something new and unique. So today I'm coming to you from sunny Florida. Okay, it's a little cloudy out today, but it's mostly sunny. I live on the Gulf Coast down near Tampa, where we decided to stay after my husband retired from the U.S. Coast Guard after 30 years. And let's see, that's the basic synopsis of me. I have been in many publications, especially over the last 5 years, but I'm very excited to say that Quilters World was actually the first time that I was published. They published a design of mine in 2010 called Ginkgo Romance. And it was a lovely little table runner and placemat set. And so I'm very thankful to them for not only publishing that one, but to continue to pick up ideas of mine. There'll be another one out later this year, so keep your eye open. Okay, questions in the feed. I'm probably not going to be very good at answering them. I apologize. I won't be able to catch them all once I get moving. I will go back and look at them after, I promise. And if you had a particular question about something, just place it in there and I'll go back and answer it when I'm done here. Thank you so much. So, all the exact measurements for this particular project that I'll refer to are in the current issue of Quilters World that is on shelves now. I will not be discussing measurements today. I'm only going to discuss technique because this block is very versatile and you could use it in so many other projects. So, ready? I'm going to change my camera angle so that we can start talking about the project. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Here is the current issue that we're talking about. Here is the fun little project inside named Hope, which is really a memory piece for me because my grandfather loved candles. And my mother picked up her love of candles, and then I picked up my love of candles. And I also remember lighting a lot of candles in church as a kid. And so here is Hope. Here is the 4-patch we'll be talking about. And what I want to say about 4-patches are, you know, they're just a traditional little block. And they start out with 2 strips. And they start out of 2 strips of equal width. And this is why I say they're versatile, because it doesn't matter what the width is. So for example, if you know that you need a 4-inch finished block, your strips will be cut half of that, meaning that half of 4 is 2. Add your seam allowance, 2.5-inch strips. So you'd cut 2.5-inch strips. And then you'll sew your strips together using a 1/4-inch seam allowance. And now we're going to talk pressing. So we want this line to stay very sharp, very straight once we open this up. And a couple of tips are, there are lots of different products out on the market like Best Press. There's one called Flatter. I personally just really like to use good old magic sizing. I love, love, love my wool mat. The wool mat just gives you so much, it's firm, so it really gives you that solid base to press nice crisp seams on. And then you'll notice that I have a not very pretty piece of muslin here, and that's because it just protects from overspray. So once I have my seam sewn, I'm gonna give it a quick spritz, and then I'm gonna use my iron to set my seam. Once the seam is set, I'm gonna very gently get this going. And once I get it going, I'm gonna take this and bring it back. And I don't want to do this. I want to press, open, press. And I use my fingers to kind of push and press. Once I get that pressed nice and flat that way, I flip it over. I give it one more good press from the back. Now we need to cut this strip into segments. And so again, when we talk math, whatever the width of your cut strip was, so we did 2.5 inches, we want to cut our segments 2.5 inches. So now we will cut 2.5-inch segments from our strip. And now we have segments. See how these work for any size? Think of all those jelly rolls that are stacked up on your shelves that you could be taking and cutting up and making nice little 4-patches with. So here's where the magic begins. Ready? You just take it, you just flip one around. Look at that, so quick, so easy. And then once we do that, we can nest our seams. Ooh, that little thread just wants to come right off. And it's real easy to know that they're done right. You can feel it. You know, if you have them off, it's going to be lumpy. Once you have them right, they're nice and smooth. And once everything lays nice and smooth all the way to the other side, take a little pin, stick it in there, take that to your machine, sew your 1/4-inch seam allowance. Once you've sewn your 1/4-inch seam allowance, you're going to repeat your pressing steps. Spritz, press seam, set the seam, open seam, and you should have nice crisp meetups right there. So in my project, you might have noticed I didn't do strip sets because I decided they should have really fun little half square triangles here just to add a little oomph. So now that we have these, you'll also notice that I said in the project, I turned mine on point. So today we're going to add a little bit. We're going to go just a little bit beyond the 4-patch to show you how I made a quick little square and a square for this particular project. So here we have our 4-patch. And what you will also need is a square of fabric. And once you have your square of fabric, we will cut these once on the diagonal. And the reason we do it this way is because we want this bias edge to go into the block. We don't want to sew it so that you have bias edge on the outside. So I have my triangles. You'd need 2 squares to make 4 triangles. And once I have my triangles, here's my next fun tip. Ready? I like to take these and I like to fold my triangles wrong sides together and do a quick little finger press right there. And hopefully you'll be able to see there's a nice little point right there. That's going to help me center and align. I'm going to go this way. It's going to help me center and align right into that seam. So it's like creating your own little nesting seam, basically, your nesting spot. And once you have that lined up there and you have the tip of the triangle lined up into the crease here, then you can pin this in place and take it to your machine and sew your 1/4 inch seam allowance. Once you have your 1/4 inch seam allowance sewn, I cut off these the little dog ears that we get on the side. I trim that even on both sides. And then I'm going to repeat the pressing steps that we talked about earlier so that you get a nice good seam on here. And these were already opened up at one point, but looks like they've come undone a little bit. So you can see there how we're starting to build this because you want these placed on opposing sides of your square. And once those are trimmed and pressed, then you're going to add 2 more triangles to the last 2 opposing sides. Once those are added, repeat your pressing steps, and ta-da! You have a lovely little square and a square with your red squares going down like that, which make a nice chain effect, I thought. And the last thing I'll show you is quickly how I trim these. So if you have a ruler with a 45-degree angle, that's very, very helpful. And you're going to put that 45-degree angle on that seam line. And then you're going to run this up so that as long as everything stays straight, this 1/4 inch line goes right where the point, the juncture is for those 2 seam allowances, 1/4 inch away. And once it's 1/4 inch away and everything's lined up, you can trim your blocks, get those little dog ears off, and you end up with this. Nicely and easily done. Okay, put you back up so we can talk one last second. Hello. Okay. So, don't these make wonderful little spacers or borders or sashing? You'll see on here, these were just regular square and a square, no 4 patches, but the 4-patch really just adds something to it that, just that added little bit that you took the time to do. I want to say thank you again, everyone, for being here, and I'm going to show you one last little thing about what I mean. Even if you had nothing else on the 4 large squares, the humble little 4-patch, look at how great that is. You could do just squares with just 4 patches on point and make the cutest little project. Okay. Thank you for being here. I want to say you can follow me over at Nestlings by Robin on Facebook, and I'm Nestlings1 on Instagram. I have a website, and you can sign up for my newsletter there if you'd like. And I really enjoyed having you all here. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to see what you do with this. I love to see pictures, so you know where to find me now. You can send me a picture. Thank you so much. Have a great day.